I'm guessing we all can agree that we don't want Maine to become a safe haven for human trafficking. Back when I served on the Bill Wolf for Senate campaign, I learned of a story of a young lady named Sage. Her freshman year of high school, back in 2021, she didn't feel accepted by her classmates. She ended up transitioning to identify as Draco. The school never notified the parents of said transition, and the only reason her mom found out about this was a hall pass that was in her bag with the name Draco and male pronouns on it. After this transition, she was sexually abused by multiple men in the high school bathroom. After all of this transpired, she ended up running away from home and told her parents that she was meeting a friend. This friend she had met on a gender-affirming website. Later on, she had been sexually abused. The FBI found her 9 days later in Maryland. The story continues. She ended up being found in Texas. So there's a correlation here that doesn't apply to every story, but there's a direct correlation between human traffickers taking advantage of young individuals struggling with gender dysphoria. Like I said, that is not every case, but we do not want Maine to become a safe haven for human trafficking and abusing people that are having mental health struggles. If LD227 passes, what will happen is individuals can take minors from other states across state borders into Maine, use taxpayer funds to go through with, quote, gender-affirming healthcare surgeries. We don't want that to happen. So, a message to our legislators. If you want young ladies from all over the nation to end up like Sage, being sexually abused and going around different state borders, vote for LD227. I've testified against LD1619 and a ton of other legislation. When I was talking to a lady today and I said, you know what, LD1619 is almost seeming moderate at this point. That is some of the most far left legislation I've ever seen in my life. And now I see LD227 and I almost look back and say, wow, that was almost moderate compared to this. I focused a lot on LGBTQ issues, but this also applies to abortion. So individuals that want to take a young lady across state borders to have an abortion, they can do that without parental consent. It's another huge thing is it shouldn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. If you're a Democrat or a Republican, we should agree that parents should be able to protect their children. I'm only 19, so I don't have kids at this time, but there's a high likelihood that within the next 10 years, I'll have kids. If for some odd reason I'm not living in the beautiful state of Maine, I surely do not want someone to be able to take advantage of my young daughters. I want to be able to protect my daughters and raise them in the right way. I want them to be safe, secure, and have a prosperous future. And if Maine, and sadly probably other states, will try this political stunt, if it passes, well, that means that those future daughters of mine will not have that safe and secure future that I was blessed to have. We need to be in prayer for our state, our nation. We need to call our legislators and make sure that LD227 does not pass. I was blessed to have the opportunity to testify against it today and share Sage's story. I'm guessing you guys will find it encouraging. Sage has been recovered. She's back to living life. But that does not take away from the severity of the situation. Sexual abuse is wrong in every single case. But we need to do everything possible to protect young ladies. You know, I didn't appreciate the severity of human trafficking until I started serving on that Senate campaign. And it was interesting to get to know Bill. Bill was running for state Senate, and I found that he was a former Fairfax County police officer down in Virginia, and he also served at the DOJ, specifically fighting against human trafficking. This man knows his stuff, and I was on a phone call with him this morning, and we were discussing, is LD227 a green flag here in Maine for human traffickers? And his immediate response was to the general extent of course it is. We need to protect our young daughters. Yes, our sons, but especially our daughters. That is our duty. I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. if you're a Republican or a Democrat, call your representative and make sure that LD227 does not pass so that we can protect our young daughters and the unborn. Vote right, vote red, and let's cause a red wave.